Hello, beautiful people. Future me. It's light, so let's get into it. Prove your typing. What? What? What is this lesson? I didn't click on anything. Or did I? Okay, I definitely need to change my layout. What the hell is this? Doesn't make any sense. 640. It is what it is. Let's go. Typescript. Good. Sum is number, this two. Number outputs on the at 1, 3. Some number, I think this is type error. Number, output number, return first plus true, type error. Number, double anything, type error. String, this will get a number, so this is type error. No, type O. String, let's mine string type 5, this is type error. Any user, yeah, this one unfortunately will go. Here, the curse of any. Null or 1, so this returns 1 because the question mark operator returns the first thing which is not undefined and not null. I believe. My string, this one flies. Use the nullish coalescing operator to write a function name or default that returns person's names or Wilford. Sure, no problem. Return name Wilford. Wilford was it, right? I believe so. 1, 2, 3, 2 string, so this is type error. Oh, this will be 11 string, number type error. Oh my god, another typo. You still need to make a code below compile even though it's wrong. When building system sweep any. Okay. False, so this will return false. Return number 1, so gets undefined, so this will be 3, 1. Undefined 1 is 1. Link to number takes number or 3. Okay, so 2, 5. 2 times, this is error. Okay, so it is syntax error, or it's definitely an error. So this will be type error. Number, when we are assigning the string, this is type error as well. This is syntax error, is that possible? Or maybe type error? What is this? Oh, we'll see next time. I just did this. So this one, number 4, right, is 4. Oh, I didn't do this, okay. So 1 plus, so this will be 11, I think. Okay, 3 to choose from. So seal 3, 1, okay. So 1 it is. Optional chaining. Let's consider an example where users have an address, but only sometimes, and address have a postal codes, but only sometimes. Unlike most examples in execute program, each of those examples builds upon the previous. Okay. So we have user name, address, name string, address is address or undefined, and address have a postal code. Okay. Now we define some users who live in different places. One has no postal code and one has no address at all. So we have a defined user. Oh, that is an array of users. So this is the first one, second one, and third one. So Amir has everything. Betty doesn't have a postal code. Cindy does not have an address. Okay. Many countries have no postal codes. The Bahamas is such a place. Nassau is the capital. We want a list of users' postal codes, but it won't cause a problem. Her postal code is undefined. So our postal code will be. So our postal code list will have the type string or undefined. Okay. Users like Cindy pose a big problem if the entire address is undefined. When we can do address.postal code, it's a type error. You can answer with type error for examples like this. Sure. Okay, so users map type error. One way around this is to guard against the nulls with conditional. It works but can be verbose. Here we are looping over the array of users with map, returning their postal code if they have one. So we have a map, and the thing is address if use address, return use address otherwise. Okay, I see. That's pretty verbose. So we will get address. So it is really type so much. So it is city. Paris. What's the other one? Postal code. And that one is 75. 751. That is a number, so we are good. So the second one is Betty. City postal. Okay. City Nassau. Stop. Find. And the third one is Cindy. will be... Oh, yeah, getting just postal code. Okay, okay, my bad. Like so. Yeah. So 5. What, oh, that's a string. We can shorten this code by using the question colon operator instead. Okay. Oh, yeah, so this is the ternary. Sure, so this one will be 1 find undefined, like so. That is because if user address exists or is true T, we will return this guy or or device is undefined. That works. However, there's still a better way. Oh, really? In 2019, ECMAScript got a feature called optional chaining that solves exactly this problem. It's supported in Typescript 3.7 and above. Optional chaining adds new question dot operator. Hmm, interesting. If A isn't null or undefined, then A question dot B means the same as IB, but if it's null, if A is null or undefined, then A question dot B returns undefined. Oh, that's nice. So here's one way to think about it. During compilation, the compiler will write this as check for us whether we do question mark dot or A equals null or undefined. If so, we get undefined, otherwise that. Okay. With question dot, we can safely access properties and subproperties of an object that might be undefined. That's awesome. Something similar should be in Java. Hmm. Well, it works even like so. Huh? That's cool. Undefined. One important detail. Even if A is null, then expression still returns undefined. You can think of question dot as preferring undefined. Interesting. So return null, so we will get defined. Now we can make a list of users' postal codes if they have them. We need for an if or even no need for an if or even ternary operator. We can use this one. How's it called? It's optional chaining. So we will get 75010 undefined, undefined, and this guy. Boom, boom. That's much better than our original if else version. Yeah, which was 7 lines long. As always, our use of optional chaining must follow the rules of the type system. Typescript won't allow us to accidentally sneak an undefined into a place where it's not allowed. That will always be a type error. So we have a string in here, that might be the difference. Here's nothing in there, so this is a type error. Because we can get undefined in there, right? Type error. And we are done. Unknown. Intriguing. So that's random. Random. Still go. 2 it is. Okay. What's the return time of a function that doesn't contain a return statement? Nothing? Oh, wait. That function return type is void. We can see that by causing a type error and looking at the error message. When a code example contains a type error, you can answer it with type error. Void is not assignable to type number. The void type indicates no value at all. In many other static languages, there are no exceptions. Void truly can never have a value. But in TypeScript, weirdly, we can create a variable of type void. It can only hold the value of undefined. Oh my goodness. Okay. When TypeScript's strict no checks mode is off, a variable of type void can also hold the value null. In this course, strict no checks mode is always on. Okay. This doesn't mean we can then assign our void to a variable of type undefined. This doesn't mean that we can then assign our void to a variable type of undefined. That would be a type error because void isn't assignable to anything. Okay, so a void and then our a void. We take inside a void and put it into u, and that's not good. So this is type error. In practice, you'll probably never encounter a variable of type void, but you will encounter many void functions because any function without a return is automatically inferred to be void. Okay, cool. It was a short one, and this is pretty long. So let's see if we can make it in 4 minutes and a half or something. Something we can know a variable type in advance. Here's one such situation. Suppose that we are writing a library in TypeScript, but it will be published to npm for public consumption. Some users will call our library from their JavaScript applications, where there's no type system present. When they call our exported functions, our types won't be enforced. Maybe we have a function that takes a number argument. Hopefully, the user will pass a number to it, but they are not using TypeScript, so they might pass a string. We'd like to tell Typescript something like we are not sure about this argument's true type, so please enforce us to check the value before moving on. We want Typescript to force us to narrow the type using array is array or type of x equals number or some other check. As of Typescript 3.0, we can do that with the unknown type. It means exactly what was described above. We don't know what type this variable holds, so don't let us do anything with it until we find out. We can assign any value to an unknown, so it's like any in that respect. Nouns. Okay. Okay. The difference is that we can't use unknown in a place where Typescript expects a string. We can't use unknown in a place where Typescript expects a string and a number or almost any other type. Okay, and that was the possibility with any. Okay, so any attempt to do that is a type error. You can answer these examples with type error. Okay. So we have an unknown and then we are trying to put it, we have a, and that is an unknown, and then we are trying to put insides of the n into n2, and that is type error. S type of an unknown have a 5 string, and then we are trying to put insides of the S to the S2, and that is a type error as well. Those examples looks a bit strange because we can see that n is a number and s is a string, but the compiler only cares about the types, and we explicitly told it that n and s have the type unknown. What good is a variable if you can't read from it? To make unknown useful, we have to narrow the type back to real, concrete type. For example, we can use conditional narrowing to narrow the unknown back to a string. Then we are back in the world of static types with the normal string and all of the normal rules apply again. However, narrowing will force us to handle the case where the unknown value isn't the type that we wanted. We can handle that in a way that is appropriate. Throw a runtime error, use a default value, etc. In examples below, we'll use a default value. So we have a string s. Well, we have a s that is an unknown of type unknown and contains a string, and then we are putting in a s2, which is a string. If type of s is a string, we put what inside of s, otherwise we will put empty string. So this is a string like so. 5 type of a string, no, so the s2 will be empty string. Unknown is 5, type number, yes sir, so 5. And number it is not, so this will be 0. Let's compare any to unknown by writing an example for each. In the any case, the compiler produces an incorrect result. In the unknown case, the compiler catches the mistake and produces a type error. Use any to make this code compile, even though it's wrong. It's assigning number to, okay. Use unknown to make this code custom compiling statically per everything, okay. any and unknown are assignable to each other. This makes sense because both mean we don't know the type. So we have unknown 5 and is n is unknown, type unknown, and we put 5 in it, and we point to 5, and then we have n2 type any, and we point to what it's inside of n, so it's 5. Okay, so unknown assigned, we are n pointing to 5 and 2 point to what is inside of n, that is okay. And then m3, which is a number, will point to what is inside of what is pointing to, will point to the same thing that n2 does, so that is a type error. What? It's just error. Wait a moment. Ah, because it's NA. Oh, I see. That's the lesson. Know that NA is still unsafe. As soon as we have a variable of type NA, we can assign it to anything. The next example makes an intentional type error that the Typescript can't detect because we used an NA. We can also do the same thing in reverse. If we get an NA from JavaScript library, we can immediately put it into an unknown. That will stop us from accidentally assigning it directly to a concrete type that might be incorrect. So we have that unknown. So this is a type error. We have an 5 unknown. Can we just assign it directly? Like it would be n2 type unknown equals to 5. I believe so. So this will be 0. If we union unknown with another type, like unknown union unknown string, the entire union evaluates to just unknown. The unknown absorbs the string. Think of it this way. The TypeScript compiler, if TypeScript compiler doesn't know the type of a variable and we add in one more option, the compiler still don't know the type. Sure. Unknown. Any evaluates to any for some reason. There's no practical reason to use that in program though. Unknown string, so you have unknown, that is a string, and so this is a type error because we are trying to point s2 to the thing in unknown. That's bad. So when we intersect unknown with another type, like type unknown intersection unknown and string, the other type absorbs the unknown. Think of it this way: if we don't know what type something is, but we also know that it is a string, then we actually know that it's just a string. String, that's string. Good. Finally, I nailed on terminology. An int, a variable of any type assignable to anything. The name any is very appropriate. It applies to both reading and writing. Unknown means we don't know what's in this variable, so we can't use it until we find out. Makes sense. For interoperability with existing JavaScript libraries, you'll sometimes find yourself using any. But in your own TypeScript code, we recommend using unknown to represent values whose type isn't known yet. Then the compiler will help you by forcing you to safely narrow them without losing the benefits of the type checker. And I'm finishing the lesson 7 minutes over the time limit, and that means we are done. Done is better than perfect, and I will see you next time. Bye.